Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be making Ofada rice and Ofada stew. Even though the stew is a combination of green and red pepper. So that's why I'm calling it Ofada stew. I know they would say that Ayamase is the green stew and Ofada is the red stew. So I'm just going to call this Ofada stew. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and join the family. Kindly like the video to help with YouTube recommendation. It will mean a lot to me, guys. Let's get started. So for protein today, um I'll be using what's this called now? Tribe. That's shaki. I'll be using pomo and I'll be using beef shin. So I'm just going to wash all of this and we're going to get straight to seasoning. I think I showed a part of where I was washing it, but obviously not the full video. And yes, for seasoning, so everything has been cut and cleaned. So now for seasoning, I'm going to be adding my onions. I like to use a lot of onions for seasoning my protein just because it gives this very sweet taste. And after the onions, I'll be adding salt. Please be very careful with the salt. And the next thing is my seasoning cube using no. And you can just season your protein with spices of your choice, but everything I'll be using, I'm going to put it in the description box, so don't forget to check it out. So I'll be putting curry and thyme, and that'll be it. I'll put it on fire to start cooking before moving on to the next thing. So the next thing is our pepper mix. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to be making use of green pepper, red pepper. So in this video, I'll be using the red bell pepper, green bell pepper, the long pointed pepper, and Scotch bonnet. So what you need to do is to deseed your peppers, because if you don't deseed the pepper, it tends to make the stew like tastes quite bitter. So that's why I like to always deseed my pepper. The only one that I don't deseed is obviously the Scotch bonnet. Yeah, for obvious reasons. So yeah, and that's about it. And then my onions. So yeah, you guys can see that it's well cleaned. That's the long pepper, and I've also deseeded it and cleaned it with my onions. I'll be using red onions in this video. So yeah, if you have a food processor, it's best to use a food processor because you don't want to have, for Ofada stew or even if it's Ayamase, you don't want the pepper to be too like smooth. So using your food processor is the best, but I'll be using my own blender and I'll be making use of the pulse button, as against, like, I'll crush once, then I'll use pulse button, if that makes sense, as against as against using the blending parts, if that makes sense. Yes, so moving on to the protein is ready now, and I'm just cutting it into little chunks. That I'll be cutting it into little chunks. So after cutting to little chunks, I'm going to be putting it in the air fryer. You can decide to fry yours, like using the oil you'll be using for your stew, but I just wanted to air fry my. You can put in oven, you can air fry using your air fryer, and you can also just fry it, like deep frying. So yeah, I'm just cutting the protein into tiny bits. So into my clean pot, I'll be adding my palm oil. One thing about Ofada sauce, whether Ofada sauce or Ayamase, I personally like to bleach the oil. Like, when I mean bleach, you guys can see the pan. This particular pot doesn't have like it has a lid, but the lid is covered, so it's easier to like bleach oil in it. You guys, this is not the consistency we are looking for, because it is quite bleached, but not the kind of bleaching that I want. Like, I still want it to be like, I want this color. Can you see? I want it to turn to like it will be like transparent. You guys will see what I'm saying in a minute. So just when bleaching your oil, please be very careful. So I'm done with the um with air frying the protein, but we're still bleaching the oil, so I'm just going to set that aside. And you guys, this is what I am looking for. So this is the transparent effect that I was trying to get, and that takes time. You're going to, in fact, the alarm went off on this day so you guys can see how transparent it looks. So what you will do, obviously, to avoid alarms going off, you're just going to be increasing and like reducing the heat at intervals. That's the best way that I can explain it. So now the first thing I put is my locust beans. What is an Ofada sauce without locust beans? Do you get? So you put your washed locust beans, let it saute. Then I just put the onions, my already diced onions. I also allowed that to fry a bit before. Now it's time to add the pepper. So you guys can see the way the pepper was, I just, it's not well blended, you get. So after blending the pepper, I put in a sieve to bring out excess water, and you guys can see that it looks like there's no oil in the pan. But trust me, what can you guys see, after some minutes, after frying on a low heat, the oil will come up. So don't be deceived when you pour your pepper and it looks like there's no oil. Sometimes it looks like that. So now it's time to put my seasoning cube. Like I said, I'll be using, this is actually no chicken seasoning cube. And for Ofada sauce, because it's a local stew, you don't need a lot of seasoning, to be honest. So the next thing I'll be adding is my two tablespoons of crayfish. It is also optional, but I just want that taste of crayfish in it. So aside from the seasoning cube, the only seasoning I'm adding is the, what's it called, the crayfish and salt, obviously. And so I'm just going to stir it and continue cooking, because we need it to be well fried. Like, it is ready when the oil, like all those oil just comes up, like floating up. That's when you know that you've successfully fried your stew. So I'm just going to be mixing it so the spices can incorporate. So I'm just going to mix it well, cover it to and allow it to keep frying on a very low heat, by the way. So I tasted it, noticed the salt was not enough, and that's why I'm adding more salt. I'm just going to stir it again and then cover it, allow it to continue frying, like I said. And yeah, so moving on to the Ofada rice. So this rice, my mom came visiting from Nigeria, so she brought it from Nigeria. I've really missed Ofada rice. So yeah, Ofada rice is actually very healthy. You can, go online to, make your research about it, but it is a very, very healthy version of rice. Trust me. If you're watching your weight, if you're trying to reduce your, like, watching your weight, blood sugar management, everything, like, Ofada rice is the best choice for you, trust me. So yes, it's just that it has this, it's usually very dirty, even though this one is already picked, because there are some that you would have to pick it yourself, but she got the ones that are already packed, so it's been picked, and it's usually very dirty. As you can see, like, I just kept rinsing and rinsing and rinsing, and it's still like dirty. So you just have to take your time to keep rinsing. So into my, okay, now we are back to checking our what's it called, our stew. So now can you guys see that the oil is already like floating? That's what I'm talking about. Now it's time to introduce the protein, guys. This still tasted really nice, like really nice. So yeah, the everything is, well fried. At the point where before I put the locust beans. So if you wanted to deep fry, you would have your own protein. That's the point where you put your own protein. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So now I'm just going to, mix it together. But at this point, the stew is already like well fried. I'm just, mixing the protein into the stew. And I'll be also, I don't know if I have that. No, I don't have that clips where I was putting my eggs. So just put everything you want into this stew at this point, and that's it. So I'll be putting, I think, yeah, like I said, I lost the clips of where I put eggs. So I'm just going to steam it for like 2 minutes, and look at what we have. Everything is, you can see that the eggs, like I said, I lost the clips of where I was putting the eggs. So everything is just ready, and the oil floating, that our stew is ready. So I'm just going to take it off the heat and focus on making the rice now. So into a boiling water, I'm going to add my washed ofada rice. You guys, like I said, this rice is usually very dirty. So when you put it in the boiling water, allow it to boil. So when you see it, and even though this rice was, to be honest, was not that dirty, but to reduce the smell and just to remove more dirt, when you pour it into this hot boiling water and it has boiled like this, you want to transfer it into a sieve to clean out again for the last time. So now I'm done cleaning it. I've poured it into the pot again. Now I'm going to be pouring like hot boiling water to continue cooking. Do you understand? Like after sieving it, you rinse it again, and then now I'm pouring hot water to continue cooking, like to my desired for my desired results. Yeah, so I add more water. Put at After adding water, I'll be putting salt. Um yes, I'll be adding salt. Please be very careful. So I'll be adding salt, and I would also add like a little bit of vegetable oil, but this is very optional. If you don't want it, you can do without that actually. So yes, I'm just going to let it cook, and about 30 to 40 minutes later, our rice is ready. Our rice is ready to be served. And yes, if you've watched this video to this part, please kindly click on the subscribe button and like the video. It will mean a lot to me. So I served mine in this banana leaf, the popular one we use to, make moi moi, because I believe it had this extra local taste to it. But this is also optional. So yeah, this is what I just wanted. So at this stage like this, I'm going to freeze, like when it's cool off, I'm going to freeze it, and I'll be taking it one, like everyone will just be taking it when they are ready to, eat it. So this is me serving it, guys. This is really what, like, it tasted really really nice. If you watched this video to this point, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It will mean a whole lot to me. Like, guys, please 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 subscribe. I have a lot of videos on my channel, a lot of recipes, guys, so please don't forget to check them out. Like, I have them in playlist, single videos, and yes, thank you so much for watching to this point, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.